En wat dacht u toen u het voor het eerst zag?
Wat is dat voor idioot met die rode ding?
Ja?
Ja, werkelijk.
Ja.
En vooral met die hele, die van 600 kilo. Wat moet je daarmee? Ja, nou, hij doet het voor de zaad en voor de hobby. Mooi.
You have to divide it into sections. So this section is, and then that was Turkish band, it was Gladiator, Curry, Howden, 110 Glazebrook Marrow, 114 Bags Marrow, Gerardale, Howden, Connecticut. The other side, Valenciano didn't come, butternut squash, and Hokkaido, 3 different kinds of Hokkaido, popcorn, climbing beans, cobra, corn, bantam, and yeah, well, that's the way it goes. And then you just remember it and everything exactly where it is. Take it out, stand it up, and you can see how tall it really is. Yeah. They're called cucamelons.
For a doll's
That's a
house.
nice one.
Mini and XXL. You are a man of
Extremes.
talent.
Man of extreme.
I also grew world's smallest potatoes, and they also got this big. This is the shriveled up one.
So this is the cage and you've got a ladder up in there?
Yeah, I built in the ladder to pollinate because they start at the top. Here, and they're really small when they start. Maybe I can find one still that's just starting. And well, here's one. Nope, it's dead already. It's kind of late in the season, but they start here. You have to pollinate them by hand, so you pollinate them up here, and then hopefully they grow downwards. Here's one. This one here, this is a young one. This is the size, this is how they start. Now they grow straight by themselves. Yeah, this is just to make sure they don't. And actually these ones are all get tied up using nylons. So whenever my wife's got nylons around, I'll actually put a nylon around the top, and I'll tie that up to a post or whatever, to the trellis, so that it takes some of the weight, because it could break with its own weight. And then at certain places in the trellis, I'll actually put nylons around it and then tie it in, and then it'll also remain quite straight. And every time you're trying to relieve the weight, because the thing is so heavy it could actually kill itself. This one here is a regular one, grown here. These are the ones you'll find in Canada and the States all the time. That's the size. These are giants, and these are grown especially for their size, and that's just simply a genetic unnatural selection, we'd call it. A pumpkin doesn't really care if its descendants are big or small. So every single pumpkin will produce seed more or less, and they'll all germinate. And so what we have to do, we have to select every year the biggest ones and cross them with other big ones, and they keep on getting bigger and bigger. So this one, if you look at the size, it's almost twice as long, but it's not necessarily too much wider. It's a bit wider, of course, but you like long ones because then you get a lot more weight in them without them splitting. When they get really big, they tend to split. So these ones were grown especially because they were really long. And these are the perfect things to keep seeds in, because, well, they're also made to keep cigars fresh. And then so these are the beans, and then lettuce. And this is the beginning of the harvest, and then they'll get more and more. Peas, ornamental peas. But in Holland, it's like we've got a Dutch way off, and regardless of what you have, we don't have, prize money or anything. You're there just to support your club and to get along with people. This is the main vine, and these are the side vines. But every side vine will also get, at every leaf, will also get a side vine. And it'll get a root. So
It roots down. Which
it roots down.
Yeah.
So every leaf has a root. I can lift it up. Here's the small root. Here's roots as well. And so we take off this side vine, but we leave the root, and we'll actually bury it. So we'll bury the whole thing like this. And then eventually, when it gets bigger, it'll grow out of the ground again, but then it roots. So you can count the number of leaves, and then you can count the number of roots, because every leaf has a root. We put the baby powder on it.
Are we allowed to show this?
Oh yeah.
Everybody stole this off you now.
Yeah, everybody's already had it. This baby, it smells pretty nice. This baby powder will dry this out again, and you keep on doing that, and then it'll stay. Well, it was almost rotted away, and the baby powder just dried it out again. This is the monster.
Oh. It's like the world.
Isn't it?
Wow.
You cannot get it on camera.
I know. It's too big. You need people in for just the scaling.
I spray the leaves every week with milk.
Milk.
And if I didn't do that, I could show you later, this would all have been gone. There wouldn't be any leaves left. They would have been all white with mildew. No leaves, no growth. So once a week milk, 3 times a week liquid fertilizer on it, just to keep the leaves green. And at the end of the season, 2 or 3 times a week, well, kind of molasses. To be the best in what I do, pretty much. So I could win a Dutch weigh-off. It means nothing if I'm 3rd in Europe, for example. I've got to win Europe. This one should be a European record, and but that's like the loser's prize. You know, I really wanted the world record. I mean, if it doesn't happen this year, it'll never happen again. Oh. 8,75. Oh. 440.
Wow.
Nog een meter tekort, jongen.
Dit is mijn marrow.
Oké. En heeft hij een record gebroken vandaag?
Nee, de mijne niet. Het Nederlandse record is wel het wereldrecord. En de meneer daar, Brad Wursten, dat is de houder van het wereldrecord. En vandaag stuk tweede, want mijn collega Iwan, die heeft de eerste plek.
Niet dat.
29,2 kilo.
Hoeveel?
29,2.
Ja, op zich, we delen ook informatie over tips over het kweken. Dus op die manier proberen we wel elk jaar weer beter te doen.
Ja, dat is slim, ja.
Nou, gewoon het feit dat het kan is al verbazingwekkend en leuk. En als je dan in de tuin ziet groeien, ja, dat is ongelooflijk. Ja. Binnen een paar tientallen dagen al dik over de 200 kilo zitten en dan heb je nog een stuk seizoen. Ja, dat is gigantisch.
Hey, we wachten. Hey. Helemaal niks, 20% leeg. Het is helemaal niks, Iwan. Nee. Het moet helemaal hol zijn van binnen. Het is de kleinste die ik ooit gehad heb. Ja, serieus. Ik kom geen eens in de top 20. Nee, veel kleiner. We hopen dat Arnold een betere heeft, want anders vallen er helemaal geen records vandaag. Ik kom niet op een foto, want met zulke rotzooi kom ik niet op een foto. Maar hij heeft het zijn eerste jaar gedaan en is dus lid van de 1000 club. En daar zijn maar een paar van in Nederland. So what do you think, Brad? Well, we've broke 2 records today, field pumpkin and regular pumpkin, the Atlantic Giant pumpkin. And both of them by an awful lot. 1 European champion today, field pumpkin, for Ivan Horde. And the Dutch pumpkin record got broken by several hundred pounds. So we're really happy and looking forward to next year.